Hey, you ever saw that Nicolas Cage movie Face Off?
Who the hell watches that kind of rubbish movie?
Oh god!
I don't think this is like the original, but I'll accept this.
Hey guys, welcome to Super On Point Reviews. My name's Steve, and in this video we'll be going over the Diamond Selects Mechagodzilla vinyl figure bank. And this is the first vinyl bank that I've ever owned, and when we found this thing at Toys R Us, like me and my wife just freaked out about this thing. Thought it was really cool, and what's nice is that in my collection, I don't really have too many 1974 Mechagodzillas, especially since this is definitely my favorite of the Mechagodzillas. Like, I just love the retro look that he has and just how he's kind of riveted together. Like, I always thought he was just very aesthetically pleasing to me. And this is only my third of that Mechagodzilla, so it's really nice to be adding this thing to my collection. And I figured I'd go over with you guys since I picked it up. So, for the packaging, not really a whole lot going on here, but I do like the flaming background. That's pretty sweet. And overall, the figure just kind of stands in the box, and he's just kind of held in there just to keep him secure. On the side, just has Godzilla, just like how it is on the front. Same with this side. On the back, gives you a little bit of a bio if you want to read it real quick. And that's pretty much it. Let's get him opened up out of his cardboard prison. So now that he's out of his prison, you can definitely tell that this is Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla and the Terror of Mechagodzilla from the 70s. The only thing is that he's a little bit deformed to me, which it's not really a negative, but I'll go over it with you guys real quick anyways. Is that for his head, you can definitely tell that the snout needs to be a little bit longer. Same with the little point up here, should be a little bit higher up. And then a couple of these little vent sections and whatnot are a little bit tiny in comparison to what they were. And then for his hands, they're really short on this guy, but he's kind of already in the position for the missile effect where he's just like shoot missiles at everybody, so that's kind of neat. But here where the connecting pieces are for the elbows here, up at the shoulders here, where the leg attaches to the body, and right here at the knees, these parts should be definitely a little bit wider and be more in connecting with the metal here, so you shouldn't see any of this access part here. And they're just kind of thin on here, which isn't very noticeable, and it's just a lot of this is more of nitpicky kind of things. And then for the tail here, it's also really short on this guy. And what's funny is it doesn't really bother me all that much that some of this stuff is a little bit off. Because actually what he reminds me a lot of is the old Treadmaster line from the 90s where they redid a lot of the Godzilla characters where you could kind of tell who they were, but they changed subtle little tweaks to it to kind of make it their own thing. Which is really cool to me, and it's very reminiscent of that, so he's already gave some notches just because of nostalgia points. But overall, like, for what they got, he looks pretty good. The paint job's not too bad. On mine, it's just this nice silver metallic paint with some grays here. The only real thing that kind of sucks on mine is right here on his lower stomach. He's got a very noticeable paint blemish here. It's just a little bit of an eyesore. But the way you've seen him with his open packaging, it's kind of hard to find the best Mechagodzilla, because this is the best one I found out of the entire lot, because a lot of them have random scuffs and whatnot from shipping and people putting them on the shelves and just getting knocked around all over the place. And he was the most cleanest looking of them. So it's just a couple little paint blemishes here, like there's some up here, and then in some sections where like the dorsal fins connect to the body and just random parts like that, there's a little bit of like excess paint on some of these parts. But to me, it just kind of looks like a lot of like the weld marks where like they would have been connecting all these parts to the metal. So it doesn't really bother me too much. And then missing a little bit of paint here on one of the insignias. This one right here, it's missing a little bit of the red. And then I would have liked to have seen a little bit more yellow on the eyes here. But other than that, he's actually still very nice looking. Really love the coloring on him. It's very reminiscent of the old 70s Mechagodzilla. And then just to show you guys this other detail, is right here on the back you'll see this giant slit here is where you insert your coins for the bank. And then I'm going to get into the articulation real quick before I get into the whole bank portion of this. Is that for his arms, they can go up and down. Got a really nice rotation, but that's pretty much all you're getting out of there. For his legs, he has a little bit of rotation here as well. You can kind of get it to come forward to do a kicking motion if you really wanted to, and it just pops out a little bit. But I would worry a little bit that the paint's going to rub off with the plastic coming into contact with it, so I wouldn't do it too much. And then for his head, which is the actual gimmick, what you're going to want to do is, it has a little bit of rotation here, but if you keep rotating it and pulling a little bit upward, you're going to pop his head off, which is the way you can get access into the money here. Which I think is really cool because in the original Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, this is how he actually defeated him, by ripping off his stupid fat head. You can see inside of here is where all your money is going to be stored, which is my real major complaint about this entire figure, is that bringing around one of my lights so you guys can see on the inside of it, he's literally just got a normal toy inside. Which you can see here, there's a lot of plastic in there, which is going to get away with a lot of your money. And especially where the body connects, like that is a lot of space taken up that they probably could have been able to remove. Because I imagine when they glued it together, they could have just chopped that part off and then stuck it in there. Would have given you a lot more room for your money. And then some of the knobs might get a little bit in the way too. And to me, it just doesn't seem like there's a lot of storage in there. So that's a really big bummer just for in terms of overall wanting to use them as a bank, because it kind of defeats the purpose when you're not going to really be able to save too much money in there. But what I find really sweet about him is that even though he's not the best bank, he would make for something that'd be really sweet for, like, if you need to hide your money from someone. Like you got like a younger sibling that's taking your change randomly on you, or maybe a roommate you're not quite sure about, or somebody coming over. And this would actually be a nice option to be like sticking your money in to keep it safe, because literally look on the shelf and I'll just show you guys. Like right here, here's Mechagodzilla standing on one of my shelves with all my kaiju. And to me, you wouldn't really think to look at this guy if you were looking around to try to find some money, because he literally just goes along with everything that's going on here. So people just walk in a room and just think he's a toy and just not even second glance him and then move on to your pants or something trying to find stuff. So he already gets a bunch of notches from me just because he's a very incognito bank. So for some quick comparison, here is the Diamond Selects Mechagodzilla bank compared next to my Bandai America Mechagodzilla. And I don't officially know what you are, but you're the Bandai American cute, chibi, awesome little Mechagodzilla. And here he is compared next to the Bandai's America Kiryu. And here he is with the oldest Mechagodzilla in my collection, the large-scale Treadmasters Mechagodzilla 2. And here he is with the SH Monster S Mechagodzilla 2 and the SH Monster X Kiryu from Godzilla X Mechagodzilla. So overall with the Mechagodzilla bank, I don't want all my negatives to make it seem like that this is a bad figure, because overall I think it's still pretty cool. He's definitely not the best looking toy I've ever owned, but he's definitely not the worst either. And he really reminds me of that old Treadmaster line, so he brings back a lot of nostalgia points for me. And also, he's from one of my favorite Godzilla movies of all time, too, with Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. So he's already pretty much a snap buy for me anyways. But what really kind of makes him cool is he also functions as a bank. And even though he's not the best bank I ever owned, he's definitely the coolest. With him lining up with my collection very well and being a very stealthy bank, he makes for a pretty good option if you need to secure some of your money. Even though there definitely is better options, like a safe perhaps. But if you need something that goes along with your collection, you need to save a little bit of change, and you really love Mechagodzilla as much as I do, then this guy is the toy for you. So what do you guys think? You guys like the Diamond Select banks? You guys like Mechagodzilla? Or are you guys just spending too much money on toys? Please let us know in the comments. We'll have closer pictures on Facebook. You want to click the link in the description below. Please don't be afraid to share this video around. And if you like this and want to see more stuff like this, please give us a like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.